The result of the division is ayes 30, noes 32. The matter is resolved in the negative. Senator Hanson and Senator Hinch. I'll call Senator Hanson. Are you raising a point of order?
No, I'm seeking leave to move a motion to extend debate until 5 o'clock.
Okay, is leave granted? Okay, leave is not granted.
Pursuant to contingent notice, I move a motion that so much of standing order to suspend as would prevent further consideration of the bill to 5 p.m.
Okay. Order. I tell you, if people just be quiet and let the motion be read, you'll then have a chance to raise your points of order. Senator Betts.
That this was a verbal motion being given to the Senate, it is vitally important that we all get to hear it.
Okay. So, Senator Hanson.
I'm seeking leave to move a motion to extend debate until 5 p.m.
Leave was not granted, so you're now moving.
I'm moving contingent notice that I move that so much of standing orders be suspended as would prevent further consideration of the bill until 5 p.m. I would like to make my comments here because this debate has been shut down in the chamber by people who we have. I'm sorry.
I was actually taking advice from the clerk. Senator Wong, on the point of order, I'm happy to provide the advice I was just given by the clerk. Do you wish to continue, Senator Hanson? All right, well, briefly, please. Not a speech for it, but have you finished the notification to the Senate of what you're asking the Senate to vote on?
That I've actually asked for it under contingent notice.
The point of order that was inevitably raised is this in order, given the Senate's previous vote. Now, firstly, this is not a contingent notice. This is a simple motion to suspend standing orders, according to my advice from the clerk. The second matter, with respect to is it in order to move this motion given the previous vote of the Senate, is that this is firstly a different motion. It applies to the extension of time, not the deferral of a vote beyond the end of this parliamentary session. Secondly, when we dealt with the income tax bills following the budget, and exactly the same thing happened, there were two opportunities for the Senate to consider alteration of the time management motion that had previously been put in place. I give a notice that this is the last time I will entertain a motion to change the time limitation, consistent with my rulings at that time. But this motion is now in order, and Senator Hanson is free to speak for 5 minutes to the motion she has just moved.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I feel cheated, and so do the people of Australia feel cheated that they have not been able to have their voice heard in this place with regards to this. They're shutting down debate on this, and it's such a very important issue, because when people stand up and they talk about national security, but you're not prepared to actually debate it and to talk about the issues that is happening, you want to bring out in Nauru, you've got 483 unauthorised maritime arrivals that have happened and a further 607 males on Manus Island. You are more concerned about the people over there than you are for the people here in Australia. And hear the debate in this place about the children. You're worried about children. I'm worried about children first. But would you please go and have an understanding of what's happening to the children in the Northern Territory with the sexual abuse that is happening to them?
Point of order. Sorry, Senator Hanson, please resume your seat. Senator Bernardi on a point of order.
Yeah, Mr. President, my point of order is that I'm finding it very difficult to hear Senator Hanson. I'm sitting very close because Senator Pratt is interjecting most loudly and rudely and saying sort of, I don't know, things that are almost unparliamentary, I would say.
Thank you, Senator Bernardi. Interjections are disorderly. For those who are concerned about time, I urge you to be quiet, and there will be no more points of order about noise. Senator Hanson.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And I'm glad that you're really interested in what I have to say, the comments, because every Australian should be. And it annoys the heck out of me and a lot of Australian people, Mr. President, that the Greens have more interest in what's happening around the world and other countries rather than worrying about the people here in Australia. As I have said, the people in the Northern Territory, you've got the sexual abuse of children, babies, and what it's done about it. Where's everyone screaming about that in this chamber? Nothing. You're all quiet. And yet you worry about these children over there, and there's 9 left over there, and you're worried about them. You know what they're doing? They're shopping for doctors. They get on Skype, they get a doctor that's actually going to that will actually appeal to them, and then they actually go to the judge at 1 o'clock in the morning and says, what is happening to these people? We don't even have that in Australia for the Australian people. And they've got 61 doctors. That's for every 8 refugees over there, is 1 doctor to every 8 refugees. I can't even get doctors out to rural and regional areas in Australia. And we're providing that number of doctors at a cost of $450 million a year to the taxpayers. These are people who came here. These are people that have been denied to come here to Australia. And not only that, our obligation to them is on a welfare basis and for their medical. We have provided that. We have spent the taxpayers' dollars to build a hospital wing on Nauru for these people. They have been taken to Taiwan, and those ones have gone, some have gone, others have refused to go there because they're saying, we are coming to Australia, because they are so soft over there that once we get here in this country, they are going to actually they want to stay here. And you know what the Australian people tell me, what they get annoyed about? You won't understand. The Australian people are fed up with seeing the refugees having given preference over Australians at the hospitals, housing, welfare, everything. The Australian people are fed up with it. They want to be looked after themselves. We are tax-paying Australians here for the amount of money that it's cost the Australian taxpayers to do with this. From people who are economic refugees, they paid to get their way into this country. And this is about border protection. This is about looking after our borders. What did Kevin Rudd say? He confirmed that if they are found to be genuine refugees, they will be resettled in Papua New Guinea. You're going to open up the floodgates. If you allow this to happen, you will open up the floodgates for more people to come down here. There's 14,000 waiting in Indonesia to actually come here to Australia. And I'll reiterate what I said. The Greens are absolutely disgusting, and their attitude towards the Australian people, that they are more concerned about other people around the world. If that's your attitude, then get out of this place, because you don't believe to be a representative for the Australian people. We are, yes, I believe that if there are truly children in need and need help, but that help has been given to them by 61 doctors that are there, more than we give the help to Australian citizens. So I'd say to the people here, you are representatives of the people of Australia first and foremost. Don't try and be the representatives for the world. Look after your own people here. That's all they're crying out for. Understand the needs and concerns. Get the medical assistance and get doctors to rural and regional Australia. That's where we need the help and assistance here. And stop worrying about everyone else around the world. Clean up our own backyard first. That's what the Australian people want. Clean up our own backyard first.